Upgrade? Upgrade? Are you kidding me, Commissioner? Louisville? An upgrade over Maryland? Give me a break. We'll find out today at 5 o'clock when they take the field against our #1 in the nation soccer team, Sasso Swarovski and the boys. Winner take all. Winner goes to the Final Four. 5 o'clock at Ludwig. I don't care what you're doing today. Get over to that game. I'm telling you, it's soccer at its best. Certainly it's collegiate soccer at its best. Patrick Mullins, John Sturzer, just Sonny Jane, Cristiano Francois. Get to that soccer game today, and we'll see what's an upgrade. You got to be kidding me, Commissioner. 35 national championships for Maryland, 2 for Louisville. Look at the academic rankings. Upgrade? Yeah, it's going to be the same upgrade when Virginia and Georgia Tech possibly leave the ACC on Monday, and you replace them with UConn. Who else would it be?
Maybe UAB?
I don't know. I don't know. Upgrade. Come on, Commissioner. You rated the Big East. You had 6 of their football schools, and Maryland leaves for its own good, and the world comes to an end. Whatever. This is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Kelly and Associates Insurance Group TerpTalk. This Saturday morning and every Saturday morning, Wayne Viener from Viener Consulting is in the house, and we're going to wait to hear from Rick Jacklistch in just a few minutes, as we always do on Saturday. Big topics about the $52 million. How did it get from 50 to 52?
I guess that's the tax on that. I'm not sure.
All of a sudden, it's 52.66 million, as if 2.6 million is like something to sneeze at. You got Rick on the phone? Let's get my man in here. Mr. Jacklistch, how are you this morning? Rick, there's been some articles in the Washington Post about possibly that $52 million being excessively punitive. You sign a contract. The contract supposedly is, it's written and it's signed in stone. And yet, where is Maryland's case to fight this $52 million fee? Because I got a feeling Dr. Lowe is ready for a fight. How damaging to their case was that statement that Louisville is an upgrade to Maryland? Because it certainly seems to me that if you upgrade with a replacement, it's got to affect damages in some way.
Rick, this is Wayne. Yesterday, Kevin Anderson said about the move from Louisville to ACC that's good for the university and good for the ACC as well, and I'm happy for them, which is a good thing to say. Why do you think Swafford went out of his way to take a swipe at Maryland when he should know what's at stake? And if the exit fees, second question, if the exit fees all end up in court that they don't stand up, what's the point of having an exit?
That number is ridiculous. You could say, well, how much is Maryland's exit? What does Maryland pay in? Whatever that number is, I don't know. But 3 times the budget of the league? Speaking of injustices, Rick, if we move on, I know that I'd like to hear your opinion on it, as being such a president of the MGN, such an avid guy. Now, of course, I do not take any blame for this because I voted for the young man. But Stefan Diggs being robbed of the freshman or rookie of the year, how egregious is that? I mean, to me, it's almost unbelievable what Stefan Diggs did this year. Freddie was talking to me. He said that in some ways you could make a case for being All-American for what he did. And I don't care what Maryland's record was, but to catch 54 passes from basically a variety of high school quarterbacks who just got to College Park. I tell you what I loved the other night. I was at the Wizards game. I did see their first win.
Oh, you were the guy who was there.
I was there, and it was a good win. But anyway, I get a call around halftime, and Freddie's on the phone. He said, "You're not going to believe this. The women's game is on TV against Nebraska." I said, "What, are you kidding me? On what channel?" The Big Ten Network. It's, I know you know, the majority of people who listen to this show and follow Maryland are, you know, men's basketball and men's, you know, certainly in football. That's their major thing. But I got to tell you, we have a proficiency in the non-rev sports. Of course, women's basketball is a revenue sport. But when's the last time just a regular season game like that you could find it live without turning on the computer?
Right.
And, he says, I know you left, get back in there, the Ravens have the ball. Now, when you were at that game, which, by the way, is the worst stadium I've ever seen, and you wonder why San Diego is having trouble drawing people, this is the most decrepit old stadium that is in existence. And without 12,000 Raven fans there, you know, Maryland Maryland's 35,000 would have made their crowd look small. You know, it was, I don't know how many people were there. But that being said, when the guy said his knee was down, I took it that he didn't make the first down. And I had a 2-hour drive back on the 405 to LA. All right?
Okay.
So I scoot out of there. I accepted, oh yeah. I scoot out of there accepting the loss, saying, well, that's the way it goes. Ray Wright, it was an unbelievable play, but it just didn't work. And then I didn't, you know, the call wasn't good. And you know why I couldn't understand the call? Because the audio system must be 300 years old.
Well, the stadium was named after an old sports writer, so it should be old and decrepit.
Right.
And all that. But speaking of women's basketball and the Maryland's curse, back to the bad side, so Laura Mincy, I guess it must have been the new turf at Byrd Stadium made her blow her knee
Rick,
out.
what's up with the ACLs, buddy?
I love your enthusiasm for getting people out to Byrd Stadium, but I got one more question for you. I'm reading on Twitter, a guy from Channel 9, sports guy Kevin Jones in D.C., is already tweeting that's Georgia Tech and UVA to the Big Ten on Monday. Have you heard anything about who else might be coming with us?
Virginia makes no sense. They've already got the Baltimore-Washington TV market. I don't listen. I would be, you know, happy to see Virginia go versus someone else because number one, it bolsters lacrosse a lot. It would move them to a Big Ten 16 conference with Maryland, Penn State, and Virginia and Rutgers. All of a sudden, you know, it's like, yeah, it's coming back a little bit.
Ohio State and Michigan, that's 6, and that's what qualifies for the NCAA to be a actual conference sport.
AQ, you get the automatic qualifier, you know. But I've talked with Tillman about it, and they're still up in the air. Look, you only play 12 games. You can find 12 games. I mean, at Hopkins, listen, next year they're number 1++. They got number 1, 3, 5, and 7 out of the top 10 players coming to Maryland. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Bones, Stephen Bones Kelly, what a season, what a football season he had for the Hall. Absolutely super, great kid, and I was actually at that game when they played Gilman, and Shane Cockrell. Whoa, Rick, I don't know if he's going to be a quarterback or they're going to redshirt him, but they're going to have a hard time keeping him off the field. This kid is a tank. He's impossible to bring down. He runs through people. He's got to be on that field somehow. I'm not sure where.
Right.
No doubt. Now, Rick, are you going to the game Wednesday night? All right, then you will join us in the post-game show. All right, right after the game, we'll have to get 3 chairs this time. And
roll out the new equipment we have, the new lights. It's going to be gorgeous.
So it'll be the post-game show after a game against UMES, who I know nothing about.
Hey, what a big rival. It's always when Maryland plays UMES, boy, you can throw out the record books.
Well, let me tell you something, okay? UMES has had its days, and I don't really know much about it this year, but George Mason, big game tomorrow, great win against Northwestern. We'll get into that. Rickster, thanks a lot for getting up to check in with us, okay, buddy? All right, pal. All right, let's get rolling to our first break. That lawyer, I start talking lawyers and stuff, you know, it's like...
You're sweating over there. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm 52 million makes me sick, okay? They ain't paying him 52 million. This is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Kelly and Associates Insurance Group Terp Talk here on 1580. We'll be back in just a few minutes for some more Terp Talk.